Hello, I'm Marv Seppala. I'm a person in long-term recovery. I celebrated 39 years a few weeks ago. I'm also the Chief Medical Officer of the Hazelden Betty Ford Foundation. Big Pharma and a lot of my medical colleagues will tell you to ignore all the opioid addicts and the deaths that have been occurring, and I'm here to tell you that we're fed up. When I look at the list of names behind me and the photos all over the grounds here today, it's hard not to be remarkably moved. And the first speaker talked about her own ability to stay sober while many people have died, and that's certainly the case for me as well. I have to review the deaths of anyone in our system after their care with us when they leave and die of an overdose. And it's a very difficult task, and it really puts it into perspective day in and day out why we do this work and the necessity of doing it. I've given my entire career to the treatment of addiction, and I've never seen anything like this. It's like Dr. Kolodny says, we've never had such a crisis, and we haven't gotten the support that we should expect. 175,000 deaths in any other illness would result in a remarkable response on the part of the federal government and the medical community, and yet we get ignored. Addiction is the most pertinent public health crisis of our time, and this is the spearhead. This is the real problem. All the deaths that are occurring can't help but get people's attention, and yet it hasn't. In the 1800s in the United States, there were no regulations about the use of opium. It's the only other time we've seen anything similar, but people weren't dying because it was low-dose opium. There was just a remarkable epidemic. Now we have just as good an access. There was no regulations in the late 1800s, and we have just the same kind of access now with remarkable regulations. They're just not adequate. It's too big a problem to address on our own, but we have to start someplace. And we need the federal involvement. We have to have their intervention and their leadership. We have to rein in prescribing by my colleagues. We have to increase access to treatment. We must place a moratorium on the release of new opioids for use in our country. The statistics haven't gotten their attention, so we have to. And I appreciate everyone being here and walking on the Capitol later today. Thank you.